I'm Jeff Schwartz at Schwartz Performance. We're here for our monthly update. It's early January, so I guess this will be the February update. We've got the 82 S10 here. We were mini tubbing it. We've completed the mini tubs, and we've refabricated the rear floor pan section of the bed, matching the factory ribs. The rear end articulation, we need to have clearance for it. This truck's going to be really low, and we got to have room for the Ford 9-inch to go up and down when you hit bumps. So we had to move that floor pan up. We've duplicated the factory rib pattern, and it's going to be a great riding truck despite being very low. Since this truck's going to be so low to the ground, we also fabricated a new floor pan and a new trans tunnel for the T56 Magnum. These trucks didn't have a transmission nearly the size as the T56 Magnum. This 52 Ford truck is coming along. We've finished all the refabrication of the doors and lining up things. We had to make sure that door was parallel to the weather strip surface so it seals good on the bottom of the door. And then we're mocking up the seat and the steering wheel. Customers coming in today to test fit everything, make sure it fits him. This has the Boss 302 Coyote and of course a Schwartz chassis. We extended the cab 6 inches as we talked about on previous episodes, and that's all done in metal here. We've got stainless steel bed strips going in there with without the carriage bolts, so it's got like studs that slide in underneath, so you get a nice smooth look, and there's no carriage bolts going through the stainless strips. It's going to have some kind of exotic wood done on the bed. We're not quite sure yet. We've got these really slick stainless steel tailgate latches, and they just latch like that. Clean inside the truck. You got nothing on the outside. This 69 Cougar, the guy who owns it, his grandmother bought this car brand new, and it was a 351 Cleveland 4-speed, and she drove it every day till she couldn't drive anymore. And he acquired it after she passed away, and he's won Hot Rod Drag Week. So Tom Bailey, you might have heard of him. He's going to come out and play with us doing autocross and road race stuff. And this is a tribute car to his wife, who recently passed away tragically, and we're really looking forward to how this thing turns out. We built the chassis for it, and I believe it's going to Sled Alley after this to have some massive body modifications done. But beautiful car, great story behind it, and looking forward to see this one on the road. For this application, we built a custom chassis, and it's a full perimeter chassis, so it goes all the way out to the rocker here, and then this will all get tied into a full cage and tin work that you normally see on a race car. It'll also be powered by a twin turbo modular motor of some combination. 70 Chevelle convertibles coming along. This is a 632 big block. We've completed the fabrication of the headers and the exhaust on here, and we're just doing the final build of all the components on it. We build everything and then blow it apart and paint it. So. We tubbed this 70 Chevelle, and we're mounting things in the trunk right now. We've got to mount the convertible top motor, and we've mounted the remote reservoirs for the RideTech triple adjustable coilovers up here. This 55 Chevy's a nice car. It's got some upgraded suspension on the stock chassis, as well as a really nice leather interior and a nice paint job. Pretty good stance. The customer decided he wanted a roll bar put in the car, and he wanted to change the color of the interior, so it's going to get gray leather interior. And then instead of the 5.3 liter engine that had the LS2 coil covers on it, it's getting a full-blown Schwartz 675 horse LS7 along with a 4L80E transmission. The LS7 that just came in for the 55 Chevy We are waiting for an oil pan to fit the stock chassis. The LS7 dry sump pan won't quite clear, so we have a special pan coming that'll clear the stock chassis and still maintain the dry sump oiling system. A lot of guys try to eliminate the dry sump on the LS7, but it generates more horsepower and it's more reliable, so we keep the dry sump on the LS7. We've also removed the fuel tank, and this already had an LS conversion in it, so it's got a fuel pump in the tank, electronic, but we need to up that fuel pump to handle the 675 horsepower, so we had to pull that apart, and then we'll be putting a upgraded fuel pump in there. This 59 Chevy is nearly completion. It's going to hit the World Wheel Circuit this year. It's got a Schwartz 520 horse LS3 in it, along with the Schwartz G-Machine chassis. It's got a really nice leather interior. Ken's Classics in Wisconsin did the body and paint on this car, and it turned out fabulous. We've got some really cool valve covers on here. They're billet specialties that actually enclose the coil inside another cover. So we haven't made the wires yet, but they basically come out here, and the cover looks like a traditional small block. This has a J&L audio system, and it's mounted back behind these panels here. The underside of this trunk lid was also smoothed out. It looks really nice. It would have been a shame to cover that in leather, the phenomenal metal work that was done there. This 69 Camaro came in for a few upgrades. We just put a fresh set of headers on it, as well as we did a T56 Magnum swap in it behind the big block. Wait, I thought this car was given away. Well, actually it was given away at the SEMA show. However, Rebestos needs it for a few more shows for promotional purposes, so we're getting it ready for the next event, which is the Keystone show in February out in Washington, D.C. And then we're going to the Lord Co. show in Canada, Vancouver, British Columbia. So you'll see the car at those two venues, and then it's going to its new owner the 1st of May, Brian Williams. Wish him a happy birthday, May 11th. This is the 71 Cutlass that we built about 8 years ago, and we talked about it a couple months ago. It had a little oops at Road America, but the car's all back together now, and it's been freshly repainted. Looks like $1 million, and we're going to put a set of fresh tires on it and charge up the air conditioning, and it'll be ready to go real soon. One of the unique things we did with this car was we made the air cleaner look like a standard 4-barrel on an LS7. We actually bored and stroked the engine to be the exact same bore and stroke as a 455 Olds, which is 4 1/8 inch bore and a 4 1/4 inch stroke. And then also we made the factory air cleaner fit on top of it. And the interesting thing is we didn't just put a 4-barrel throttle body on it, we actually put the drive-by-wire factory throttle body and the mass airflow sensor, and we were able to fit that underneath the hood. We're working on the 70 Cuda still, and right now we're focusing on the interior pieces. This is a rendering of what the interior is going to look like. It's got a lot of features that like you'd see in a German luxury car. Leather interior, brushed aluminum door handles. We've made up patterns on the door panel out of cardboard, and we have brushed aluminum grab handles here that Jim has already fabricated, and then we've got the BMW door handles here. These will get a brushed finish on their latches as well. We've also done the same thing with the instrument panel and the console. This stuff will get fabricated out of aluminum, and then it'll get wrapped with leather. We finished the inner aprons here, and we had a little bit of space constraint issues with mounting all the overflow tanks and things like that, so we've actually hidden them behind the inner aprons on the other side. This front area is pretty much open space, and we were able to utilize some of that real estate to hide the components. And then also we've got some Ring Brothers billet hinges here. This is a new product for the Cudas and E-bodies, Challengers and Cudas. We've also fabricated block-off panels to get all the airflow going through the radiator, and we've mounted AC components. This is the 675 horse LS7 that's going in the S10 truck. It's also getting 150 shot of nitrous on it, so it'll be 825 horsepower. That should be plenty to move that S10 around. This one has our billet serpentine drive on it. It's black anodized, but then the edges have been machined off, so it gives it a little more elegant look than just normal black anodized that's kind of popular these days. This is one of our G-body chassis, which has become very popular. This one's going under an 84 Regal, and it's going to Tennessee. This one has a height independent rear suspension that we offer as an option on the car for those that have to have everything. It has our really trick optional mag style wood shipping wheel on it. Look at that. Right here we've got a Tri-5 Chevy chassis. This one's going under a 57 Chevy. It's got gloss black powder coating, the full floater 9-inch with the aluminum Moser third member, and it's going to be a really sweet car. We're not quite done assembling this Tri-5 chassis. However, the brake lines will be going on. We'll be bending those up, and then, as with all of our chassis, this Tri-5 uses a 16.5-inch length shock with 5.2 inches of shock travel, way more than anything on the market. So what that gives you is a much smoother ride than any product on the market. As usual, we got a lot of chassis in production. Most of these are waiting for parts to come in so we can do final assembly and send them out for powder coating.